Freaknik, the wildest party never told. Why was this documentary so important to make and share with the masses at an event like South by Southwest?
Cause y'all don't know the story of the South. You know what I mean? It's a little unfortunate because we made all this music and we made all this impact, and I think we thought somebody was gonna do that part for us without us actually, that's the only part I feel like the South didn't cover, and I think about it, I'm thinking about it even more now when we talk, cause it's so much, it's so many things. Like when you think about the movie social media, right? And the social media movie was about Mark Zuckerberg going to college and creating Facebook, right? And you get this story immediately. I don't know how many years it was after he did it, but you get this story immediately so that you have no question on how he did it. He stole it from the twins. The whole story, whatever's in there, you get the story, right? With Southern hip hop, we was out here just having a good time, and we was just fulfilling our life and fulfilling our dreams and doing what we had to do. And year after year after year after year went by, and people telling us we wasn't gonna last. I think that was our drive. We was trying to make sure we lasted, as opposed to realizing that we should be telling a story at the same time, because as we get down the road, people ain't gonna know a lot of this information. So I'm telling you this in a long-winded way, that this documentary represents stories that haven't been told about the South, the hip hop element of the South, and the culture of the South, period, and HBCUs.
Yeah, and it is just like JD says, going to tell so many stories. I mean, and connect so many dots that most people don't know. People just, the average person look up Freaknik on the internet or Google it. You'll see a wild party. You'll see dancing on the cars and things like that. But what you'll miss is these young folks from, these HBCUs, in Atlanta that created this innocent party, and it went from 0 to 100 when, crazy man myself went there and started having the wild parties. But at the end of the day, just like Jermaine said, we have so many stories about the South. I mean, even right now, today, you're a young guy that you think Drake created twerking. That's not the case. When you look at Freaknik, the documentary, and you see Too Short come in there and say, in there clearly, no, it was booty shaking, right. And that's what it was. So those type of stories, people have a tendency wanting to rewrite our history, and never tell our history. This is the first of many projects that'll be done, that'll tell the rich history of Southern hip hop, how it was created, where it's at today, why Atlanta is the mecca of Black entertainment, and pretty much the iconic figures like JD who started it. And you'll see these stories, and that's the beautiful part about Freaknik is it's taking this story here, the most impactful story, to then now start a series of more stories to come to follow it.
Absolutely. And I think y'all said it wonderfully. Now, I know in the clip it says, we're not sure if Freaknik could make a comeback for 2024. But listen, I was born in 91. I'm definitely trying to have fun. I'm definitely trying to engulf myself in the culture. Do you think Freaknik, the wildest party never told, could make a comeback in 2024?
I think it could come back if it's created by the kids on the campus, because it has to start where it started. The energy of Freaknik came from these HBCUs, right? And if they started in their space, because what they're doing is going to be governed, right? They're not going to let you come to their schools and trash their schools and tear up their area, right? And if you know about Freaknik, nothing ever really happened bad on the campuses. Everything that started happening bad with Freaknik was outside of the city, on the highways, or on Peachtree, or at some club. It wasn't in the space where this actually was taking place at with the kids that was actually putting it on. So if I feel like if a group of kids come together just like the Metro DC crew did when they put this together, it's possible that it could come back. It won't be the same without a doubt, but it's something that could come back because they have that energy. That energy is in them schools. It's in that AU center. They just gotta put their heads together and put something together, and they can make it for themselves. It don't have to be big as what it turned out to be. Initially, anyway, it's gonna start. And I just feel like me personally, just living in Atlanta, when they start the rumblings over there at AUC, all the surrounding areas, College Park, the SWATs, Decatur, we just find out about it and we start migrating to there anyway. So the traffic is gonna come, but it's gotta start on the inside of the AU Center.
Yeah, I think it just like JD say, it can, in my opinion, it can make a comeback on the level of like a Rolling Loud or something like that, where I would like to see it, but it would have to start where it originated from and then be carried out throughout the world, with being a big festival and a big event, but started off with the intelligent part of it, of a actual Divine Nine event where you communicate to people how important HBCUs are, how working together as African Americans, how these young people came together to create something like that. I think, on that level, for me, I would like it to see something like that come about, so the world can kind of get it, but you won't get the dancing on the cars. That's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna block up the highways. You're not gonna do that. But being that festive, embracing that festivity, the festivities that we embraced at that time, it would be a great thing. I mean, for any city. I mean, what Freaknik did to Atlanta, which is what you have right now today, making it the Black Mecca of entertainment. That's Freaknik. That's Freaknik. That's Jermaine Dupri. That's Outkast. That's Goody Mob. They created that. And all that came about through this little event called Freaknik. And if that can happen in anybody else's city on that level, of energizing their city, in that fashion, it would be a great thing, but in an organized way, in a program way.
Absolutely.
I just to add to that, I just want to say I want people to realize like the South was never really taken serious when it came to hip hop, right? And I say this because when you say can it come back, a lot of times people never made us feel and understand how important we were, right? They banned Luke Skywalker in the United States. They made a song called Ban. Like, you don't even understand that. It's nobody else in hip hop that's ever been banned, right? They was making us feel like our music was not to be heard. Throw them guys away. They from the South. They ain't like the North. They ain't from the West. We don't really care about them. So we never really got the respect that people should care about us, and we should really, really take good care of our historical moments. So I feel like a lot of this, we have to remind people and get everybody to understand how valuable 69 Boys are, how valuable Luke Skywalker and the 2 Live Crew is, how valuable Trina and how valuable all of this stuff is. MC Shy-D and these people, like, Success and Effect, and these people from Atlanta and Miami, and even like 3-6 Mafia and all these other surrounding places. We got to make sure that we let them and the people know how important they are to hip hop, just like NWA or just like Biggie Smalls or anybody like that. Because a lot of times when you see these write-ups, you might see somebody talk about NWA, you see somebody talk about Public Enemy, and they don't say Luke. Like, Luke came before me, so I'ma always say Luke. So and we ain't not talking about me. I'm coming after that. But you cannot say this man's name when you say all of these other people's names. And I feel like that's where the disrespect. But it's also it's on us because we didn't tell the stories. Nobody else told the stories, and we never really took advantage of like it's time for us to tell the story. So I feel like that's what him and myself are doing right now. We telling the story. We're not telling the whole story because I was sitting here talking to him and getting more stuff that I could feel like we should be talking about as well. But a start is a start, and once we get through the door, as we always have done in the South, you can best believe we gonna keep it coming.
Absolutely. JD and Uncle Luke, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I'll see y'all tonight.